whenever you're training a dog, it's all about teaching the dog what's expected. It's not about overpowering the dog. It's not about trying to be the alpha. It's about just clear-cut communication. Let's go. So this little behavior we've got going on here is something that happens a lot when dogs don't have enough boundaries, okay? So if you don't set enough boundaries with the dog and you pop it on a leash, the dog may think it's time to play, or it may try to take you for a walk. So this is a very simple little exercise I'm gonna do, which is gonna stop this behavior from the dog from jumping up and biting at the lead. And I'm going to run you through exactly what I'm going to do to stop this. So it's quite simple. There's a couple of key principles you need to keep in mind. The first is I only want to use the right amount of pressure. So I want to use the least amount of pressure possible. So it's not about me correcting the dog hard. It's about me correcting the dog right. Okay. So communication is key. So all I'm going to do is when the dog bites on the lead, I'm going to apply upwards pressure on the leash. Oi. Give it a verbal marker. Good. And the second it stops, I release the pressure. So I'll do that one again. Oi. Pressure up, pressure off. Oi. Good. Oi. Good. And when I move again, the dog's probably going to trigger again. So let's go. So that movement of the lead is actually what's triggering the dog. Oi. So what's probably happened is the owners played with the dog a lot, so they've used play as a way to stimulate the dog. So they've overstimulated the dog too much, so now the dog thinks that anything that the owner has is a play item. So structure always comes first, play comes last. So you need to make sure you have the right structure in place, the right boundaries in relationship with the dog before you go into playing with the animal. Oi. So that shake there's like a little release of tension. So that's a sign that the dog's snapping out of it and refocusing. Come on. Good. And I'm going to trigger it again and see if it does it again. So I'd move the lead around a bit. Oi. So that time I only really needed a verbal. There wasn't a lot of pressure involved. Oi. Good. So you can see I'm having to use less and less pressure. So now the verbal cue is actually what's stopping the dog. I'm not having to use any leash pressure. There may be that I may go back to the point where I need to use the leash pressure at some point. Oi. Let's go. So I'll trigger it again. Good. So the dog made the decision on its own there not to do the behavior. And the only reason that happened was because I was consistent and I didn't let the dog win. So I didn't give up. I kept going until the dog understood what was expected. So just remember, whenever you're training a dog, it's all about teaching the dog what's expected. It's not about overpowering the dog. It's not about trying to be the alpha. It's about just clear-cut communication. Let's go.